"Sir, you need to quiet your baby. People are complaining." The flight attendant's words sliced through the tension in the cabin. Lieutenant Jack Monroe, a Navy SEAL still in uniform, looked up in panic. Sweat clung to his forehead. His daughter, barely 3 months old, was screaming in his lap, red-faced and inconsolable. He bounced her gently, desperately trying to soothe her. "I'm trying," he said hoarsely, but his voice was drowned by the baby's wails. Passengers around him groaned. One woman turned and hissed, "Can someone make him shut that thing up?" Another man muttered under his breath, "Should have stayed home with a sitter. Tough guy." Jack kept his head down. His hands trembled as he cradled his daughter, whispering apologies to a baby who didn't understand. What none of them knew, what none of them even cared to ask, was that he had buried his wife only a week ago. Complications during childbirth. He was on a base halfway around the world when the Red Cross message came. He barely made it back in time to hold her hand before she slipped away. Now he was alone, a single father, still learning how to change diapers, still fumbling with bottles and wipes and sleep schedules, and now, thousands of feet in the air, surrounded by strangers judging his every move, he felt like he was suffocating. His baby wouldn't stop crying. Nothing worked. Not the pacifier, not the bottle, not rocking, not whispering, not praying. In 17C, directly across the aisle, a young woman watched. Her name was Elisa. She was traveling alone with her 2-year-old son, now fast asleep with his head against her chest. She had noticed the soldier during boarding. How he struggled with the stroller, the car seat, the diaper bag slung awkwardly over one shoulder. She watched how no one offered to help. Just disapproving looks, impatient sighs, people pretending not to see. She had been there before. She was him once, young, alone. Overwhelmed, she remembered those nights when her baby screamed until dawn, and she cried into a pillow, wondering if she was enough. She remembered how it felt to be judged just for trying. So when the baby's cries got louder and the glares got sharper, Elisa made a decision. She gently handed her sleeping son to the elderly woman seated beside her, stood up, and crossed the aisle. She knelt beside the soldier and spoke softly. "Do you mind if I try?" Jack looked at her, eyes hollow. I don't want to bother you," he stammered. She smiled gently. "You're not? I've been there. Let me help." Before he could even answer, she reached for the baby, and something incredible happened. The moment Elisa cradled her, the baby's cries began to fade. Within seconds, the fussing turned to soft whimpers, then to silence. The cabin, once filled with tension, seemed to exhale. Passengers relaxed. One man even muttered, "Finally." But no one clapped. No one said thank you. No one even noticed the soldier's trembling hands fall into his lap as he watched the woman rock his daughter with the ease of someone who knew what she was doing. He blinked fast, trying not to cry. "I don't know what I'm doing," he admitted. Elisa sat beside him now, holding his daughter close. "None of us do," she said. "But you showed up. That's what matters." Her words cracked something inside him. For the first time since the funeral, he let himself breathe. They talked quietly as the plane drifted through the clouds. Jack told her about his wife's high school sweethearts, married just after boot camp, how she used to send him handwritten letters during his deployments. He told her how she had picked out the name Hope for their daughter, because no matter what happened, they would always hold on to it. Elisa shared her story too, how her boyfriend left as soon as she got pregnant, how she worked nights and studied during the day, raising her son with more love than money, how every mistake taught her that showing up, even tired and broken, was still enough. Jack looked down at his daughter, now asleep in this stranger's arms. "I don't know how I'm going to do this," he said. "You already are," Elisa replied. "You're doing it." As the flight began its descent, Elisa carefully handed the baby back. Jack took her with a tenderness he didn't know he had. She was calm now, breathing gently against his chest. At baggage claim, the two stood in awkward silence for a moment. Jack reached into his duffel and pulled out a small velvet pouch. Inside was a Navy SEAL trident, pin his own. He pressed it into her hand. "I don't have much," he said, "but this means everything to me. And so does what you did." Elisa's eyes welled up. "You don't have to. I want to," he said, "because you reminded me. I'm not alone." Around them, travelers rushed by. Announcements echoed. Life moved on. But in that moment, the world slowed for just a second. A grieving father, a tired mother, To strangers, connected by kindness, by compassion, by something unspoken and deeply human. Because sometimes heroes don't wear capes, they carry babies. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is ask for help, or offer it without being asked. If this story touched even 1% of your heart, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from, and what part hit you the most? Don't just watch. Be part of the family. Your comment might be the one that inspires someone today.